Good evening, dear students. Welcome to lecture 3 of commodity markets. Hope you have gone through the previous PDFs shared and also heard the lectures. So if you have any queries, please post them on the WhatsApp group. So we have already seen the market participants in a commodity market. We've also seen the different kinds of trade that can happen in a commodity market. So in today's lecture, we are going to understand the trading process within a commodity exchange. So the focus will be trading process. So all of us know these commodity markets and commodity exchanges, they are places which connect the buyer and the seller. The seller who wants to sell his produce and the buyer who has a need. So that is how the commodity exchanges and commodity markets came into existence. As far as a commodity exchange is concerned, there are various stages in the trading process. So as I already told you, it is not just buyer and seller when it comes to commodity exchange. There are people who are investors, people like you, me, or anyone, any citizen of the country, who is there purely as an investor. Speculators, investors, we spoke about them. So there are 6 stages in the trading process within a commodity exchange. See, most of the commodity exchanges will have the same steps. There may be few changes here and there, specific to a commodity exchange based on how they want to, apply few rules within their own domain. Okay. So the stages are as follows. The first step in the trading process is choosing a broker. So this is a crucial decision since it is the brokerage or the broking company or the agent who will hold your account and execute all the trade. So students, see, you are not going to directly transact in a commodity exchange. Any person or any investor who wants to transact in a commodity exchange has to go through a registered broker. So he will trade on your behalf, right? So you have to choose a broker, choose a right broker. So what are some factors that you could think of? One is what competitive edge the broker gives you, what is his knowledge level, what is his past record, and what is his net worth, and are there any cases against him, and generally if he is working on other exchanges, what is his performance. So these are some considerations, and you have to do some bit of study about various brokers and then decide on a particular broker. Also, it is very important to convey to the broker as to why you are trading in the commodity exchange. You have to make it very clear whether you are there as an investor or you are there for hedging. So based on your objective, the broker will be able to advise you. So that is the first step, choice of broker. The second step is paperwork and opening a commodity trading account. Okay, so once you decide on a broker, you contact him, he gives you an application form wherein you enter quite a few of your details. You'll have to submit a lot of documents also, and you'll also have to indicate your own previous experience in trading and so on. The broker will go through all of this, he will vet your details, and once he is satisfied, he will open an account. So this is called a trading account. Please note students, in commodity exchange, you don't have anything called a demat account. In commodity exchange, you open something called a trading account. So trading account is purely for monetary purpose. Done. So that is step 2. You identify a broker as step 1. And secondly, you open a trading account once the paperwork is done. Then the step 3 is depositing margin money. Okay. So as a trader, once I have an account with the broker, it's always a good idea to start trading. I mean, you have taken the pains to start trading. You opened the account because you wanted to start trading. Okay. So the trader might study the market might go through various documents, might consult the broker as well, and may decide to place an order of trade. He might decide to kickstart trading. But what is the prerequisite? So if he decides, for example, to buy 1 kilo of gold or something, which is like, if we say 1 kilo of gold, which costs probably, maybe a lakh rupee or something, then in that case, he has to deposit something called a minimum margin in his trading account. Now, please note, to buy 1 kilo of gold, which is worth 1 lakh, he needn't pay up the entire amount of 1 lakh. So this is a big advantage here. He is only required to pay around 10 to 15% of the total value of contract. So if he is going to buy an item, say for some commodities, if he wants to book for 2 lakhs, then he is only required to pay up how much? 20,000 upfront. That's it. Right? Sometimes 10%, sometimes 15%. Okay. So this is called, this initial amount that he deposits in the trading account to kickstart trade is called the initial margin. Please note, this is a technical term. This is the initial margin, which is the minimum margin required in the account to start trade. Okay. So once the margin money is deposited, order is placed. So see, the trader has to formally place an order. The trader informs the broker regarding which commodity, what quantity, at what price, and so on he wants to buy. And accordingly, he also deposits the margin money. This is done. So formally, once you inform the broker will place the order through the ETS system, through the computer system, because he has the right to execute your order. He is placing the order, he is executing the order on your behalf. Okay, it's all computerized within an exchange. Now, the trader, while informing the broker, has to use certain terms like the lot size, contract value, and so on. So lot size can indicate the minimum unit that can be traded. For example, in case of gold, they might say the lot size is minimum 100 units. One lot size is 100 units. But 100 units means, what does each unit indicate? So when we go down, each unit within the 100 unit might be of 10 grams. So generally in the exchange, you will have to indicate how many lots you want to purchase. So if you say, in this example, if you say 1 lot, this means 100 units of gold. If you say you want to buy 2 lots, it means 200 units of gold. Okay, so lot size is standardized for different commodities. So in case of gold, the minimum lot size is 100. In case of some other commodity, it might be different. Similarly, within the lot size, the base weight of each unit might also differ according to commodities. Okay, the base value, that is a smaller unit than the lot size, that indicates the weight of each unit. So that in case of gold it is 10 grams, in case of wheat it could be something else, in case of any other commodity it could be something else. Now this is again one difference between how stock market operates and how a commodity market operates. So the trader gives details about the lot size, and he also talks about the total transaction value and contract value and so on. Okay. Now once the order is placed, the next step is mark to market settlement. Please note, this is called mark to market settlement. So at the end of each trading day, I already told you there's a clearing house. The clearing house determines the settlement price of the commodity. So on day one, supposing I have placed an order, and I placed an order. The total value of contract is say 1,000 rupees. I'm just taking a small figure here. And at the end of the day, once the trade closes, whatever is the value for that commodity. So if it increases by 50 rupees, that 50 rupees is credited to my trading account. So that is done on a daily basis. Okay. So what happens on day 2? So day 1, I place an order. I place an order for 1,000. End of day, and the value of the commodity is 1,050. So I get 50 rupees in my account. Day 2, your opening balance will be 1,050. So it generally considers the previous day closing balance. And then whatever fluctuation happens, I mean, if the value of commodity again goes up by 100 more rupees, 100 is again credited to your account by the end of the day. So similarly, if the amount goes down, it is debited from your account automatically. So this happens on a regular basis through the clearing house and through the clearing house members or the brokers who do it on a regular basis. Okay. Now please note, since on a daily basis your account gets credited and debited, it is quite possible that many times it is continuously getting debited for 3-4 days. Okay. So in this case, the broker might reach out to you and request you to maintain a minimum maintenance balance in the account, because if too many debits are happening, then the trading might not be smooth. You might not be able to pay for the commodity. I mean, you might not be able to I mean, they might not be able to debit your account. So in that case, you need to maintain some minimum balance. So this balance that you maintain is called the maintenance margin. So this is done mainly to ensure trading is smooth when too much price fluctuation happens. In case the trader, that is the investor, refuses to deposit the amount in the trading account, then the broker can terminate the contract with the trader. Okay. So this is there. And the last step in the trading process is termination of contract. This can happen in many ways. One is if the contract ends as usual, then the person, if it's a hedger, for example, he might take physical delivery of goods. Okay, so this might not happen in case of investors, but there are people who get into commodities market mainly to hedge. Okay, the second way the contract can be terminated is through cash settlement. So you have some set of commodity and you have identified a buyer who is willing to pay a price for it, then there is a cash settlement that happens. Okay, and the third way is also reverse trade. So you have some set of asset and you're looking for a seller. So you take the exact opposite position and you net off the amount. So this also can be one way to terminate the contract. Okay. So the 6 steps again are you choose a broker, you open a trading account, margin money is deposited, then actual order processing, formal order processing, mark to market settlement is the next step. And here we also have to understand about maintenance margin. So initial margin we understood, there is also this maintenance margin. And of course, as a last step, there is this termination of contract. Okay. So if you go to slide 3 of this presentation, you can see the flow of commodities trading. Please note that you have different agents. One is the broker, then you also have a clearing firm. I mean, there is a clearing house, and there are members, clearing members or clearing firms who are members of the clearing house. So who help in daily crediting or debiting your account. So this clearing member can be the broker himself. So many times it is the same broker who will act as a clearing person also, who will work closely with the clearing house, and he will also do trading on your behalf. But many times, if the broker is exclusively only doing trading for you, he might internally enter into an agreement with one of the clearing firms and anyway get your transactions updated. Okay. Now moving on to slide 4. What we spoke just now was about the trading process within an exchange. But you also do commodities trading outside of an exchange, right? Spot trading. So this just gives an example of the difference between, physical trading versus trading in exchange, how it differs. So I've taken the example of Ramesh and Suresh. Both of them intend to buy gold. Both are investors. However, Ramesh decides to, operate through the physical market. He decides to go to a jewelry shop and buy gold. But Suresh decides to go through an exchange. So what happens? Let's see. Please keep this slide open. Okay. So price of gold on the day of purchase, assuming both of them started trading on the same day and both of them also sold off the commodities on the same day, we'll see the difference. Okay, price of gold on the day of purchase, let us assume it is for 10 grams, it is 13,000 rupees. 10 grams gold, 13,000 rupees. Now quantity, both of them purchased 1 kilo. So Ramesh purchased 1 kilo of gold from the jeweler and Suresh placed an order for 1 kilo of gold through the broker in an exchange. Okay. So price of gold on the day of sale, because the gold prices, let us assume, have gone up and it has become 14,000 for 1 kilo. So on the day of sale, the gold prices are 14,000 for 10 grams. So what happens initially? So initially, while placing the order, what happens? Ramesh goes to the jeweler. He has to pay how much? 13,000 for 10 grams. No, he buys 1 kilo of gold. So he has to pay up how much? He has to fully pay 13 lakh rupees to get the possession of 1 kilo of gold. Okay. Whereas to buy gold, Suresh, who is trading in the exchange, he pays up only 10% of the total value of gold. So the total value is 13 lakhs. So Suresh lands up paying only 1,30,000. Done. Okay. Now, what are the overheads? What are the risks? For Ramesh, the overhead is he has to carry that 1 kilo of gold carefully. Now he is also, the other concern he has is whether he has actually given the right quality of gold. I mean, if there is some, milawat in the gold and also he is not very sure. And also he has to maintain this gold safely for the entire period till he sells it off, right? So these are the risks that Ramesh has. What are the risks that Suresh has? Nothing. He has paid much less. He just has to maintain his contract document. So it is very much less risky. Okay. Now, both of them sell the gold at 14,000 for 10 grams. So basically the sale amount is 14 lakhs for both of them. So net profit, what have they made? So Ramesh has made 1 lakh as the profit and even Suresh made 1 lakh as profit. But now you see the difference. What is the return on investment? Ramesh invested 13 lakh rupees and he gets 1 lakh in return. So which is almost like 7.62%. 7.62%. Whereas Suresh, smartly he transacted in an exchange and what does he get? He gets 1 lakh against 1,30,000 invested. So he gets around 76% return. So this is one example of how it can always help when you trade through an exchange. Okay, besides this, I'm sharing a Word file which addresses two important questions even from exam point of view. One is the trading process and also the difference between physical market versus trading in an exchange. Okay, thank you so much, students. Have a nice day ahead.